Good evening, everyone. Extra live podcast as we have some exclusive breaking news. Of course, we're going to talk about Bryan and Mbeumo. That deal is coming to a conclusion, people. We're going to talk about that. What is that entitled? This kind of broke the internet earlier, but I was kind of like tweeting it out and saying, this is the deal. This is what's going on. We're also going to talk about Sancho latest as well. What is that all about? Italian leagues circling around, but they can't afford it. And Turkey, Fenerbahçe. Yes, that has legs, people. Guys, we're also going to talk about Casemiro potential Saudi exit and also what else? Garnacho, Chelsea, Garnacho, Arsenal. Garnacho had a blinder, people. Guys, how you all doing? Do not forget to like and subscribe as per usual. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me, by the way. How you all doing this afternoon or this evening where you are from? We can see you all coming in here. Frankie, big up Mickey, Realist TV chat. Don't forget to hit that like and button, subscribe. Class of 99 is also in the house. IDK, where's Chance Sancho goes? I can't really read that, mate. What does that IDK? I'm so old. I don't really know what IDK. What does that mean? Where Sancho goes just has long. It's not at United. Please, can you elaborate there? Anyway, guys, listen. Was supposed to do a little bit of a live stream today, but However, I was stuck 8 hours, 2 days in a row at a tattoo parlor doing my tattoo. So a little bit burning, a little bit itchy. So hence this little bit live extra podcast as I was also gathering information. George Banderson's the house, the Athletic confirming Mbeumo second bid. Yes. Andrew Mitten confirmed it as well. Anyway, I'm just waiting for more people to come in before we dive into the story. But, we had a successful Sunday with Alfredo Padula. A lot of things is brewing around. It's been a really quiet sort of transfer market so far on this day of recording, looking at potentially Manchester United need to sell a lot of players. And the thing is that's coming out here like, damning report regarding Ten Hag. Damning report is what's going on with Sancho and actually Rashford. And it is a shame because Italian League Serie A is very keen on having Rashford and Sancho. Both Napoli, both Inter Milan, and by the way, Inter Milan and Rasmus Højlund that has serious legs. I'm going to talk about Rasmus Højlund regarding that one as well as an exclusive. Sure, Inter Milan are in talks with Højlund's agents. That is 100% true. However, they see the price as a little bit steep. And what they are potentially proposing for Højlund is to have a seasonal loan. This was exactly what Alfredo Padula said in yesterday's podcast as well. And I thinking, well, Rasmus Højlund really wants to stay at United, depending on who we're going to get as a number one striker target. So it does make sense. Like, if Manchester United are kind of selling him now, they will make a loss. But if they do loan him out, they will take a loan fee with an option and obligation to buy next season. So that's the one to watch, right? That means the Manchester United will collect, additional potentially 8 million loan fee. And then next season, they will kind of loan him out, in my opinion, as well. So, guys, how you all doing? Where is all the people? Oh, God. There's more. There's probably Jarvis going live as well. Oh wow. I didn't realize. I just had to do this extra today. Guys, do not forget to smash that like. I will not plan to do this as a long stream. It is kind of a bit late where I'm sitting at the moment. It is 3:37 a.m. in the morning. God damn it. Anyway, please do not forget to smash the like button. It is looking like that. It's a thumbs up, and you guys are in the VA ROM, you know what to do. Stop laughing. Just hit it. Like. All right, so let's dive right into the story and hopefully more people will come in. So let's go. Let's go over to Jadon Sancho. Let's switch it over because this has absolutely legs. This was reported by Turkish journalist, which is Sol Murat. I can't really pronounce his name. Sorlu Murat. He's a credible Turkish journalist down at Sports Digitale. However, it says here also, reported by United Exclusive, just in, Fenerbahçe have made serious progress on a deal for Jadon Sancho. It is moving forward. Now, Of course, I know Alfredo Pedula. Alfredo Pedula is very good with the Turkish league. I texted him and I said, listen, is this just spin or is it real? And the response that I got back, yes, but don't tweet it, basically. So there is legs in this story because Serie A is an option for Jadon Sancho, but they can't afford his salary demand. Now, Fenerbahce, in certain ways, they are looking to retain and keep Osimhen, which is good. You know, they're in Champions League, they want to retain and keep. On the other hand, they want to bolster that squad. They want to bolster the left wing situation. And you have, of course, Jose Mourinho that fancies Jadon Sancho pretty much. That is the one to watch. Could this be Manchester United lifeline, in your opinion? Let me know in the chat what you think. Do you think he will go? And I started a poll, by the way. Please get involved in that poll. Where do you think that Jadon Sancho will go? Will it be in Serie A, Italy? Will it be in Turkish league for the Turks? Will it be in Premier League or what else? What else do we have here? Actually, the poll was also saying Saudi league because Saudi is a viable option. Let me know what you think regarding this story, and I'm going to sort of elaborate a little bit further because I think that at the end of the day, this is a headache that Manchester United don't need. I mean, he came back from Chelsea, which was a little bit weird because we sort of, said, okay, you can loan him with a loan fee with an obligation to buy. But for some reason, Chelsea sneaky bastards, they kind of said, inserted a clause that they can return him back for a penalty fee. So Manchester United will receive £5 million and potentially sell him for 25, 30 million. Now, what the fee is going to be, I don't really know. But however, there is some serious talks and negotiations going on at the moment. This deal is moving forward. In my opinion, I think that's good news. Don Bertram saying, "Good evening, Mick. Where are you? Don't care where he goes. So don't care where he goes. So as yeah, as long as he's not with the Carrington." Yeah, a good question, mate. I'm actually in Thailand, in Phuket, where I live in full time right now. That's where I am at the moment. So the time difference is a little bit of a killer, peeps. So I'm doing three work. I mean, I'm doing my full time job and I do my freelance journalism and I do this channel whenever I have time. So hence this extra. When I do have a scoop, I come in and give you. So yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you, Don. I agree because for me, it don't really matter where he goes. He needs to go. Same with Garnacho. Same with Rashford. These three parasites, apparently, they don't want to leave the club because of the wages, right? Rashford needs to bite the bullet. Rashford needs to look around. And I actually did a tweet because modern days football has changed. Clubs have changed. If you look at that trend, this transfer window, Don, and everyone else, it is simply that you see the clubs are not going for the Galactical signings. Club are more sensitive. They're looking at the post-COVID. They're looking at, of course, if you make Champions League, Europa League, you'll get that extra money. But at the end of the day, only Real Madrid is spending like on Galacticos. And you see also Liverpool, they're spending big at the moment, and Manchester City. But however, Liverpool didn't spend last year, so that's why they're going spending more this year. So it's kind of become a little bit of rich dad's poor dad. But the trend is that, clubs are going more like, lower risk. Do I trust you? Why should I pay that high transfer fee and why should I pay you that high wages? You can be a flop like Rasmus Højlund or Anthony Dos Santos, XYZ. So that's what it is. T is in the house to say, do you think Fenerbahce can afford Sancho's wages? Yes, they are in Champions League, so they do have Champions League money. You know what I mean? So of course they can. They can also afford to keep Victor Osimhen. And there's a sort of a clue in the puzzle, because Napoli are trying to sell Osimhen. He's got 1 year left on his contract. They said 75 million. He's already on loan at Fenerbahce. So Fenerbahce have already good relationship with Napoli. So is that something? Because reports saying that he's happy at Fenerbahce. He wants to play in the highest league, in Champions League. So could this be an option? Don't sleep on it. I think that Fenerbahce will go hard. I think they will go 100% in for Jadon Sancho and retain Osimhen, and they'll be a dangerous force. And if you haven't been to Turkey, it's quite nice. I mean, the weather is nice, the food is nice, the league is crazy, the fans are crazy. So it doesn't really matter, and it's a really competitive league at the end of the day. But Champions League football plays. It matters. And modern football is like Sancho. They're looking at, really, I don't really care where I play. If I play in Champions League, as long as you pay me the money, right? The same thing goes with Rashford. In my opinion, Rashford should take a look at, Nico Williams' playbook. Nico Williams lowered down his wage demand, and now he's going to Barcelona, in a way. So this is what I believe should be happening. But the question is, yes, could he afford it? We have tiramisu, Delisu, sorry. I'm joking. Sancho to Juventus, Vlahovic, and Douglas Luiz to United. It's better for United, please. 100%, because we need to start generating a lot of outs at this moment, right? The Mbeumo deal, we're going to touch base very, very soon. That is the headline of today. So that is totally what I agree with you. Frankie in the house, what is Frankie saying here? Which strikers United currently in for? Still Gyökeres, and there's still Nkunku. Latest news as well. I don't know. Nkunku, Chelsea's sort of racking up a lot of talent at the moment. And there were some reports saying in the Garnacho wants Chelsea, United could do a swap deal for Nkunku, but swap deals are very hard. I say that Garnacho, everyone was reacting when he had the number 9 shirt with Rashford on with Aston Villa. So maybe he's flirting with Villa as well. But it's definitely not coming back to Manchester United, that's for sure. He doesn't want to play in Serie A. That ship has sailed, right? So Premier League might be Arsenal, what I'm hearing. And if it comes to Arsenal, I'll be guttering because I don't really like to strengthen Arsenal. If it goes to Chelsea, I don't know, Chelsea Todd Bowley, will he game time? Will he get it? Chelsea is stacked with wingers, in my opinion. But in terms of strikers, Vlahovic, as I was speaking to Alfredo Pedula, is more advanced to Serie A than he actually is to United. So that could be a deal made for 25 million, but Manchester United are not seriously looking at Vlahovic. This is not type of profile what I've been hearing. It's relevant, in my opinion and my knowledge. Gordon McNee in the house to say Sancho doesn't seem in any hurry to move. TikTok. Look, I will read the rest of your comment, and I agree what you're saying here. And it looks like he's after payoff. Personally, yes. He said something like, if I'm gonna move, you need to pay me off for the remaining of the salary. He can go for lesser wages, but United needs to fork up what he's, 1 year's extra salary in between. Same with Rashford. So that tells me they're only looking for the Benjamins, right? Personally, a very low fee to encourage potential buyers may be the only way to remove him from the wage bill. 100%, Gordon, right? 100%. It's a problem that United don't need to have. Like, we want to go to preseason. We don't want to have these players in a preseason. That's a toxic element, right? You have the freedom fighter. You have Rashford is flirting with Barcelona. And I believe that Barcelona probably told Marcus Rashford agent to say, listen, wait till the end of the window. We will come for you, right? But I believe that they don't have money, so they're probably going to go at the end of the window, tell Manchester United, okay, we take him on a loan, we give you a loan fee, and then with an obligation, an option to buy. And this is something that we don't need for Rashford. We need Rashford to be sold, minimum 40 million, 45 million pounds. That is his worth. Because why? He's a homegrown talent. you know if you sell Rashford for 40, 45 million, that means you can spend 80 plus 120 plus because of his worth and value. Georgie 7 is in the house. What you saying? Not bothered, just get rid. I'm getting to that point too as a fan. Just get rid. Anyway, there was some reports saying regarding Nkunku as well. Yes, let's go into that story as well. So here we go. Manchester United have inquired about Christopher Nkunku, according to Tansa Logic. Guys, let me know what you think. Nkunku, what happened to Nkunku, right? Do you want Nkunku to Manchester United, and why is he not playing at Chelsea? You look at Chelsea's squad; they had like 40 players, dust collecting. Let me know what you think at the end of the day. I don't know, man. Is that an option that we're looking for? Nkunku? You let me know, because I would sort of say, well, is it better? Is it better? And then you have this following up story to say that Manchester United and Chelsea are considering a deal that will see Christopher Nkunku and Alejandro Garnacho move in opposite direction. Direct talks between the clubs have not yet taken place, according to Matt Law from the Daily Telegraph. So, is it a speculation? We know that he's flirting from a Premier League move. We know that Nkunku is not getting game time and not really getting developed. Is there something that we can do? It's not going to really be a swap deal, in my opinion, because there's got to be money transactions in between, right? Since Garnacho is a homegrown talent, we need to get money from Chelsea. But Man United seems to have this weird relationship with Chelsea. We tend to always find deals. We got, an injured Jensen and Mason Mount, which we thought we would never get, and we overpaid the price. And Kunku is not playing. I don't know. What are you saying, people? Thomas Vedjan is to say, I would never go for Nkunku, another injured prone player. Is that the reason why he's not playing? Because he's injury prone? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen much of him in Chelsea to sort of have my opinion. Big up Stephanie Griffith in the house saying 23 likes. 23 likes. Yes, 100%. Let's switch over to the solo screen as well. We're utilizing a different studio today. We have Gift what do we have here? Gift Mutambalika. They all need more money. They don't care about the club. 100%, mate. That is true. Let me see what Don Bertrand is saying. Need to tell Rashford to. What are you saying here? Okay, Don Bertrand is saying need to tell Rashford no loan deal, sale only, or play with the reserves. He says he wants cup. He want World Cup. He says he wants World Cup. Well, he would be third choice. Loan a human level worry about his and Sancho's mental health. Yeah, bro, you almost broke my tongue there, Don. Trying to read that chat. So yeah, a little bit word, Brian, and it's late in the morning. Yeah, it's true because if you look at Rashford, if we talk about him cool and composed as a player, and versus his agent. His agent is his brother, of course, whispering in his ear, "Come on, Rashford. Come on, Marcus. You're the man. You're the man." At the same time, he needs to play because he wants to get in the World Cup, as what you're saying here, Don, next year in Canada. So where he's going to end up, he's not going to go to the Saudi League. He needs to play in continental Europe. You know, he needs to play in Premier League or continental Europe. So where he will go, we don't know. And Barcelona, I don't want this Barcelona to drag on. I just simply don't want it because I know how Barcelona operates. And Real Madrid are kind of sharks as well because Real Madrid might look at him and say, well, you just ran down your contract, son, and we will come for you for free. But Barca have problems registering in even Dani Olmo, right? Barca, I don't know how to do it, but they seem to always get away with murder. Barca can pay the money. They will always find money, in my opinion. I like to shout you all out, but please do me a massive favor. Thumbs up, give it us a smash a like, people. You in the VR room that are watching there, beautiful people. You can see each other. You can see each other. I'm planning to do a 30-minute stream and go to sleep. I'm a little bit in pain. Self-inflicted, of course. I did a remake of a tattoo, so I did a full chest tattoo, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean, burning sensation at the moment, like you've been sun-kissed, sunburned, sunbathing in Dubai desert somewhere. Anyway, so big up everyone for tuning in. Let's continue what is going on with Casemiro as well. I want to save the last bit exclusive story regarding Mbeumo for last, but there was a story regarding Casemiro that I want to sort of bring to the stage, and that is absolutely, in my opinion, an evil necessary. Why? Do we really need Casemiro this when we're not playing in Europe? I don't think so. I don't really think we need Casemiro right now. I think a sale of Casemiro would be more sensible. I think he could sort of do well to go to Saudi League, and even if you go to Saudi League, he will still get a chance because it's Casemiro in the World Cup. There shouldn't be a reason why he should stay. So let's dive into that story as well, because according to Mail Sport, no, actually it was coming from Sport Jazaria, which is a Saudi Arabian outlet. Quite credible to say, just in Al Nassr are close to signing Casemiro. negotiation, or at an advanced stage. Like, how many times have we heard about this coming from Saudi Arabia? So, yes, United Exclusive reported this, and they're quite credible, United Exclusive. So for me, if they come in, that is big money. We might get like a 30 million there, plus they will offer him big money. But the one that I need to see is basically Ben Jacobs tweeting it as well, because Ben Jacobs has been quite accurate and is well connected when it comes to Saudi, in my opinion. What are you thinking regarding that? Let me know. Get involved in the chat. What are you thinking regarding that? Would you like Casemiro to sort of stay at United? Since we're not playing Europe, I think it's wasted. We don't need Champions League Casemiro to play for us. And I think that he's blocking a lot of youngsters' development in a way. It's a kind of little bit of a double-edged sword, like, because a lot of the academy players are learning from him, like, he's such an experienced player, cool and composed. And if you look at the back end of the season, he was really good, but the legs is gone. Let me see what you guys are saying. Chris is saying nobody wants to buy Casemiro, only Saudi, I guess. You know what I mean? I think he's finished in Europe. you know one can only hope. What you're saying, 100%. Yeah, but listen, if we get money for him, that is brilliant for Manchester United. If we get 30 million plus they take off his wages, he's the highest wage earner at Man United on 350k a week, right? So that is a massive for Man United. And that's why I say he's surplus for requirement in terms of, since we're not playing in the continental Europe, we're only focusing on, Premier League next season and domestic cup competitions. He's not needed. So take that money and go. I love you, Casemiro, but we need to think about a club. We have another comment from Home Design LA. Big up. You must be from LA. Rashford doesn't seem to have any real friends. Ganacha said, like, oh, my hombre, my camarada, hombre. But, then you see Sammy Lockers, which is the expert in gossip and, backroom stuff and locker room tweets, saying they're not really mates. You know what I mean? Who are his closest friends? He hangs out with his family and his brothers, yes, in the entourage. Jadon, Sancho and Rashford are very close like this. But you got a point. He's always hanging around with his entourage, his brothers, and the hoodie gangs, right? And they always travel in his private jet whenever they go for Lakers or any baseball game or basketball game. He's rocking up looking like a rap star, right? So that's his personal life. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Rashford is such a sad story. Like, there was a great player in him, right? But the attitude and the agency and your entourage around you, which is advising you, you better sort of look yourself in the mirror to say, this is toxic for me. Like, especially if you have a brother that is your agent. If you ever have a sibling that will never tell you the way he is, they will kind of like, yeah, yeah, you're the best little brother. You're the best. You can do that. Like, I'm your brother. But if I was Rashford agent, I would say, get on your bike, mate. Increase your value. If you want to be on the highest stage, if you want to be a legend, you destroyed the legend of Manchester United. You could have been a legend of Manchester United, but instead you listened to your buddies, your agents. You went on 50 shots in Belfast, rocked up late for training, X, Y, Z. And that's what clubs are kind of looking at also when they're assessing the player profile to say, well, shit, do we really trust this guy? Should we pay him 300k a week? Is he going to do what he did at United? These certain things are taken in consideration. We have Gordon McNee to say in, while Casemiro is paid ridiculous wages given his age, it must be said he has conducted himself in a very professional manner. Maybe his final year will be beneficial in helping our young players. And I totally agree what you're saying there, Gordon, as well. 100%. That's why I said it's a double-edged sword. His experience definitely helps the academy players. Like, we have the likes of Seko Kone coming up, the Fletcher twins, Morehouses and all them, yeah? So for sure, Gordon, I agree what you're saying here. We have Jarle Malmin in the house as well. Big up. So you must have abandoned Jarvis's stream. Jarvis, I do apologize that I went live at the same time, but hey, there was the window of opportunity. Jarle is saying, over the Jarvis's corner, someone mentioned the bid has been rejected, trying to find out a source. if it's true or not. Which bid? Y'all explain yourself. What bid has been rejected? I don't really know what bid you're talking about, Yale, but please elaborate. Please, 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 please do that for me, please, lovely people. We're going to sort of shift in. I'm waiting for Yale to come in here to say what is going on there. Um, and yeah, in the meantime, Yale, I'm waiting for you there. And guys, do not forget to like. It's in Mbeumo deal. No, no. Okay, let's dive right into the Mbeumo exclusive. I don't know, because at the end of the day, he hasn't been rejected, people. I don't know. It's let's keep it real. Okay, let's keep it real. Whitwell also tweeted out not long ago. Let me see here. Just me find it. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Even when it comes from Laurie Whitwell to say Manchester United have submitted an improved bid to Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo, more than £60 million in total. Talks has been ongoing. Manchester United hope for a resolution in the near future. Pre-season starts in July 7th. This came out after Ben Jacobs. I do also have exclusive, right? Because at the end of the day, the bid hasn't been rejected. Let me just explain to you. It's been like, when in war, like you call a war of attrition, like it's just grinding, right? That's exactly what's been going on. And let's dive right into my exclusive. If you probably have read it on Twitter, let me just try to see if I can sort of increase this, if this will help. Yeah, exclusive. This is what's going on with Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United. Deal very, very close. As reported by myself on June 22nd, by speaking to tier ones and club sources, Manchester United have held weeks of intense negotiations with Brentford. A close source that I know well, confirmed by multiple sources as well, says both clubs are now aligned on the Brentford's asking terms. So the initial bid, what Manchester United put in was, rejected on 45 million plus 10 add-ons, right? New improved bid is, per my understanding, is a base fee, which is the kind of still negotiating around. It's around 53 to 55 million. The total package, what I understand, and that is with the add-ons, is in the range of 63 million. Final agreement most likely to happen this week, with the announcement of the first payment installment after July 1st, as the transfer window opens. You can still negotiate, you can still do business, talk between the clubs, but the transfer window second phase opens up in July 1st, and also due to start of the new PSL financial year, official transfer window starts. Follow the summary, and this is basically, if you see in my Twitter, like, I did a video about it and explaining it in more details as well. This is on my Twitter timeline, so go follow me on Twitter and read the whole full story. I'm not going to play the sound. I don't even know if I do have this sound potentially, but this is exactly what's going on. So I've been calma, right? At the end of the day, there was some report from Rudy Galetti to say that it's more than 63 million, blah, 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 but that's not the case, right? If Cunha went for 63 million, you look at Mbeumo, that's exactly what Manchester United want to do, what I understand. They want to do exactly the structure, what they did with, Wolves. Same payment terms, same amortization, and this is where we're at. Manchester United would never have put in the second bid until they sort of aligned with Brentford. Is this going to be acceptable? You don't want to go in and going back and forward and go, listen, let's put in a third bid. No, because they've been negotiating for quite a while. So basically, they came to terms that this is the bid that you will accept. Okay, let's put it in. And what it comes down to is actually the base fee. The add-ons can be negotiated 100%. It can be, because it could be like, if we get into Champions League top four, the one trigger will be a sort of triggered on the add-ons as well. But the overall base fee is what, guaranteed what Brentford will be getting. So this is where they are kind of haggling right at the moment. So it hasn't been collapsing. It's between 53 and 55 and the add-ons, right? Of course, Brentford wants some more money, like more and less installments. No, sorry about that one. They want a more base fee and lesser, how do you say, add-ons. But this is Manchester United. You know this. You know we're going to agree to a conclusion at the end of the day. This is what's going on. Let me just go in and see what Jale was saying here. Um, yeah, I don't know. Thomas Fedgenes is in the house. Mick, which deals do you think is going to happen for us after Mbeumo? After Mbeumo, out. 100%. Garnacho out. Sancho out. Rashford out. Hoyland potentially loaned to Inter Milan with an obligation to buy. That is the outs. And then we will sort of attack the Gyökeres situation. I was also told that if we don't manage to get a striker, they're looking at to utilize Mbeumo as a number 9, as a stopgap, because we are kind of stacked with the wingers, and he can play as number 9. I was going like, well, that's not so good, but could it work? Yeah, Mbeumo is good, but is he number 9? Yes, he's a versatile player, but ideally they will have 2 number 10s and a striker. So Gyökeres is the one to watch. 100%, it's a deadlock in that situation regarding the intermediate. Fabrizio saying that there's no other agent involved. Yes, it is true that George Mendes is involved, but not as an intermediate, but as a broker to open up the deadlock, because there is a difference what is being promised to Gyökeres and his agent by Hugo Vienna, the exporting director, to say he could leave for 55 plus 10 add-ons. And then you have the clown, the president, to say, no, 80 million, 100 million, which is a little bit of contradictory reports because they have this in contractual writing, basically. So clubs are confused. Nobody has put in a bid as of yet. So Gyökeres has said yes to Arsenal. Gyökeres has said yes to Manchester United. Juventus was in, but they kind of pulled out, in my understanding as well, because they can't afford these salary demands as well. It's led to believe that his salary is going to be around 300k a week, 320k per week, and that is something the Man United can afford, especially if you then get rid of Casemiro, that was on 350k per week. Um, Arsenal have a genuine interest, 100%, which led to believe that they're more advanced because the player himself, prioritized Champions League, but he hasn't really said no to United as well. And we know that Arsenal are kind of fishing around regarding, I don't know, watch this space for Alexander Isak as well. They've always been their number 1 target. Number 2 is Benjamin Sesko. Number 3 is Gyökeres for Arsenal as well. So Andrea Berta is kind of a smooth operator. He likes to sort of align the deals very close to each other. And then at the end of the day, when everything personal terms agreed with each player, he will just decide who will go for this one. But at the same time, Arsenal is also sitting and discussing on a club level as well. And Arteta do have power. And Arteta always want to have Benjamin Sesko. But the stumbling block is RB Leipzig. They want 80 million to 70 million euro. And that is sort of, that's what's pissing the agent off. That's pissing Sesko off. It's pissing Arsenal off. That's why you've seen a lot of, reports. So this is going to be a very, I would say also, attritional, dragged out story. This is kind of what I feel, because you're facing this legal thing between Gyökeres and sporting director, right? And then you're also facing like Arsenal looking at trying to sort of get Benjamin Sesko over the line, but they will not be taking for the mugs. They're willing to pay 70 million pounds maximum, 70 million euro maximum. So this is the one to watch. This is the one to watch. Gift is saying, I like him, but he's up for him. Wait a minute, I'm just going to continue. Yeah, I was just rambling on about this striker position. Don is saying here, what are you saying here? Said weeks ago, Brentford will haggle over the payments. Yes, 100%. They will. Brentford is not like a selling club, and they see Man United coming in and they think, yeah, you guys got money. But they forget one thing. They are negotiating with a new Manchester United. The war of attrition is basically, let's grind it out. Let's grind it out. Let's grind it out until we get what we want. And at the end of the day, deals will always meet in the middle, so that favors both parties. But Manchester United will offer a little bit more so they can do this amortization installment plan. Yes, is it worth 53 million? Yes, it is. 55 million tops pounds with add-on 63, similar to Cunha. But it's going to be a transformative signing, by the way. Frankie, what you're saying here, who are we selling, Hoyland or Xerxley? Xerxes seems to like he's staying. I don't hear anything. I was asking Alfredo Pedula regarding Xerxes, and it looks like he's staying. Hoyland seems to be advanced for Inter Milan. They're still in club competition, the World Cup competition. So everything will start talking. They're talking to his agent, but Hoyland wants to stay at United. It all depends on what Manchester United wants to do. If we get a new, more senior striker, they want Rasmus Hoyland to stay to develop under. That's what I've been told as well. And at the end of the day, it's not meant to be that he will start as a leading striker this season. The striker position is very, very important. As soon as we close off the Mbeumo deal and get a couple close, we will get a striker in ASAP. My hunch will be Gyökeres, in my opinion. However, anything can happen in this transfer window. If we miss out on Gyökeres for some reason, I think there will be a little bit panic. You will go to Victor Osimhen and say, knock on the door. Hey, Ozzy, do you want to come? We'll pay you money. Panic buy. That's what happens usually in transfer window. Home design LA. Casemiro is a quality, experienced player, a professional player, but he must be improve his fitness. Yeah, we know Casemiro after summer he comes up swollen, a little bit of a pasta baba. You know what I mean? I think he will. His turnaround towards the end of the season was improved fitness. 100% he was. And the thing is, he's like a Lipizan horse. Like you have to rev him in, you have to warm him up. Um, Let me see who is in the house as well. Negan TWD, a name that I've never seen before. And by the way, Homegrown LA as well. First time I see you guys. Don't think Sancho will go to Saudi with outgoing issues. That's been going on. Listen, Saudi will pay him big money, right? Al Hilal, Al Hilarious, Al Nassr. There's a lot of good players that gone there. And if Sancho is concerned about getting paid, they will pay him handsomely, reward him handsomely. He's got nothing to worry about because he's not going to get in the World Cup anyway. He's not going to get into the Three Lions. So that is kind of the stories at the moment, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this content, and I know it's late, but the breaking stories regarding the Mbeumo situation is keep calm. There's this feeling within the club that they're going to resolve it this week. However, nothing is going to be announced until the 1st of June, which is the start of the new PSR FFP financial year. And plus, also the second half of this transfer window is reopening after that date. There's a lot of people that don't really remember that you can't really go here we go when the transfer window is shut, right? But you can still negotiate, you can still talk, and this is Manchester United will win. Anyway, I did have a poll at the end of it, so I'm just going to see what the poll is before I close. And the major poll is today: where do you think Sancho will end up? Was it Turkey? Was it Italy? Was it Saudi? Was it Premier League? 49% is the winner, guys. You're saying Italy is the winner. Number 2, it comes Turkey. Number 3, Saudi. And on the last place comes Premier League. I think it's done in Premier League, but I think he will go to Turkey at the end of the day. Potentially Juventus. If you look at the Serie A clubs, I know the Lazio is interested, but they don't want to spend that money. Maximum 30 million, max tops. But the wages is the stumbling block. They don't want to pay that wages. Juventus is the one that could pay the wages. If they sort of sell Duhan Vlahovic for 25-30, they might go for Jadon Sancho. Vlahovic has high wages as well, so that is the one to watch. I did a tweet about it, by the way, earlier today. If I do remember, let's just go into that timeline. Just need to remember, it's been a lot of news today and a lot of reporting from my end. So bear with me, just scrolling through. Yes, and Palinha also. I tweeted about Palinha. Keep your eyes on Palinha. João Palinha, the 29-year-old midfielder future with Bayern Munich. Apparently, they're having a meeting with Vincent Kompany and the leadership to sort of understand what is his situation. He doesn't want he hasn't not been given game time. He wants to sort of play, and he wants to go back to the Premier League. So the upcoming days will be very crucial, whether it's going to be a loan or a sell. Manchester United, Fulham are closely monitoring this situation. I tweeted this earlier today, so guys, go check it out as well. It's on my Twitter timeline. I would take him on a loan. He's 29 years of age. I wouldn't buy him, certainly. But he's certainly a player that I admire, and I know that Jarvis is admired as well. So, in a way, I would take him definitely. But what did I do with that tweet, Mother Yakamik? Sorry, it's been a busy day, man. It's been a busy day. I was speaking about Rasmus Højlund. I was speaking about a lot of things on Twitter today. Surely you can go on my Twitter timeline. Surely you can catch up what I was tweeting as well. Let me see. Yep, yep. I kind of lost the tweet. Yeah, but I said it in a way, like, I said it in that sense that regarding Rasmus Højlund, it is still ongoing talks, guys. Still ongoing talks. I will end this stream very soon. I just want to like to thank each and every one that all the new users that's coming in. We have big new users as well. Onana out, yeah, that is the one to watch. Onana needs to go. There's definitely we need to get rid of Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho, and Onana. In my opinion, that's what we need to do. Um, I'm going to end this poll as well, by the way. End this poll. A little bit out of gas, a little bit of energy today. Let me just finish off the chat room here as well by you guys as well. Okay, let's go. We have Home Design LA. If we don't get a number 9 before preseason, we will sign a number 9 even in this August. The prime target is to get Mbeumo over the preseason as well to join. But a lot of players are on vacation at the moment, so it's not panic station. The preseason is for the fringe players to get the minutes and also assess the academy players, in my opinion. So it's not the end of the day. You know what I mean? And plus the World Cup competition, and it's absolutely lower. It's for the players in the Premier League. I mean, this might be an advantage for United at the end of the day. They will not even have a pre-season because if they go deep in this ridiculous competition, they're already knackered. You know what I mean? Don Bertram is saying, if Casemiro goes and Ericsson gone, who do you want coming in as a midfield? Yes. Look, there is 4 targets that Manchester United are seriously having on the tier list. That is Edison from Atalanta. There is a deal to be made. United inquired about him early this summer when Amarin came in as well, and in January, but we didn't go for the deal. The price tag was set on 50 million euros, but now Atalanta wants 60 million euros. But we will see what will happen. Also, Hayden Hackney from Borough is also hot on the list. There is also Richard Rios from Palmeiras, and also now what we saw, Palinha enter in the race as a potential loan. However, I think we can get him for 25 million euros. And would you do that deal? Would you take Palinha to Manchester United? Get involved. Let me know what you think. There are yearly links to Saudi Arabia with Cass. Yeah, 100%. And that's why I say I tend to keep it cool until I see Ben Jacobs tweeting on. He's been on fire, especially when it comes with the Saudi Arabian. He's got really good Saudi Arabian connections. We have RFG. Damn, you're okay. You fall. Damn, are you okay? Did you fall? No, I didn't fall. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you elaborate? We also have, what do I have here coming in here for Frankie as well? I would prefer Vlahovic, though. We can use Sancho in the deal for Vlahovic. Could. But I don't really. Vlahovic is okay. I'm half Serbian as well. So, I do root for the Serbians. Trust me. You know, Vlahovic is inconsistent. He had an okay season, right? But Premier League, get some sleep, Mick. Yes, 100%. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Chris King is in the house watching here on X. Wow, am I streaming on X as well? Tell me how close Mbeumo is, lol. Warm breath in the neck close. Listen, I don't sleep next to him, so I can't breathe on his neck. But I think it's close. I think they will conclude things this week. But as I said, this deal will be announced 1st of June, 100%. If you want to know, just read back, go on Twitter, and check my time on what I wrote as well. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Johnny Evans is an advanced talk with Man United's staff position that will utilize his expertise in youth development, according to Laura Whitwell. That is bloody hell good news, right? Johnny Evans, I loved him. He finished off at United, and there was always talks about him being a coach to help. So respect the character, and if he does, wow, fantastic news, guys. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this stream. I would like to thank each and everyone for coming in, having your say. Little bit of a late night vibe. Thank you so much. Do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new as well. You guys been beautiful over there. They're the VAR room. Beautiful, beautiful people. Thank you so much, and I give you all my love hearts. And that's it, people. Thank you for watching, and stay beautiful. We say one thing: glory, glory, Manchester United. See you to the next one. Good night. I'm out of here. Need to sleep. Bye. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.